From dynasty to design, moving from founder-led giving to intentional, multi-generational philanthropy.
For our family, we're 165 family members spanning 4 generations. Today, in my generation, a lot of us are living on entitled transfer. And when I say entitled transfer, I think it's important to note that we inherited what our fathers have built. As we now have been trying to build our own businesses, we've established our capability. And in that, proving that capability, how do we transfer this down to the next generation?
From founder-led to family-designed.
Well, our society is in the middle of a massive generational transfer of wealth. It is bigger than ever in the past. So open communication and collaborative effort is essential for a smooth transition of wealth from one generation to the next.
The Great Wealth Transfer, $124 trillion in assets will change hands by 2048. $18 trillion is expected to flow to charity via bequests in that period. $31 trillion in global family wealth will transfer to the next generation by 2033. The question isn't whether wealth moves, it's how families move with it.
How do we transfer this down to the next generation? So we had to look deep into our family's core values and what that represents. And the first and foremost of our values is how do we stay united? And that was the story that my uncle had shared with us before his passing, was that in unity we will prevail all challenges that come across our family's experience. And if we can contain and ensure that we remain united and we can establish that example for the next generation.
So the first thing that the family foundation and also the founder, they need to think about is how do they actually nurture the philanthropic mindset to the future generations. I think this is very important. So I know some of the families, they have the one little small course called the Philanthropy 101. So they carry out this kind of course when their children are teenagers. So the children can get involved with some of the philanthropic activities with the family, or even they get a little bit of funding and they can use to support the community.
Set principles. Let the next gen set priorities.
Every family is different and values are different. And luckily for me, my grandfather was very intentional. He started the foundation, 1, to create impact, but also 2, to bring the family together. And so my grandpa, since really the genesis, has been doing family retreats, which not only bring our family physically together, but also bring us together around giving, doing site visits, and also seeing the impact firsthand. So in that way, we were able, at an early age, when we weren't part of the family philanthropy, to also still be a part of the family philanthropy through experience. And that really was a transfer of values.
I don't want them to have to walk in my shoes. I want them to walk in their own shoes. I'm trying to be very mindful to be able to give my children actually what my parents gave me, which was the capacity to do good in my own way.
Younger generations are introducing innovative and sometimes disruptive approaches to philanthropy.
Philanthropists need to be a lot more open-minded about providing capacity-building funding and unrestricted funding to allow organizations to build up that knowledge and expertise such that they can utilize the good parts of tech and prepare themselves adequately from the bad parts of tech.
The balance of power in philanthropy is shifting as younger generations bring fresh perspectives to giving. Governance is getting younger. 37% of family foundations plan to increase younger family members on the board and give them more say in decisions. Grant-making practices are shifting. Over the next 4 years, foundations are expected to increase unrestricted and multi-year grants. Family philanthropy itself is scaling. Share of family foundations with greater than $10 million in assets rose to 47% in 2025, 26% in 2020.
I think some of the challenges that a lot of young philanthropists face is trying to feel a direct impact between their giving and local action. And sometimes it requires moving away from traditional structures and opting for more flexible, more agile, more nimble giving. And that curiosity is vital to get us to that destination from giving to impact.
Today's philanthropic decisions will lay the groundwork for the next 100 years.
You know, we talk a lot about generational transfer, but you know, just because you're passing it on to the new generation, it doesn't mean that the old generation can sit back and watch. You know, I joked about it in the conversation. You don't retire from philanthropy. It's a way of life, it's a way of living, it's a calling, and you just continually keep on doing it. And that's like the same thing with transmitting it within the new generations. You have to constantly live it and breathe it. And that's the way that it becomes part of everybody's story as well.